There's lots of myths around about this station. A lot of local people still believe that it was meant for Maryborough in Queensland.
Yeah, someone said, it was a mistake.
Well, it is a really large station for what seems to be now quite a small town.
When people saw Maryborough Station and Spencer Street, which was very ordinary, they said, oh, the magnificent one should have been in the city, not in the country.
But that's not right. The reason they built this place here is because this was going to be the centre of a big rail industry.
This was a gold town and the whole of Victoria was booming in the 1880s, and they had what they called the Octopus Act in the railways, which was a huge network of railways right across the state to link everything up. It was very political. Everyone was trying to get a railway in their town. And I think they just had great visions of this becoming the centre of railways, like the big railway towns in London.
This Maryborough railway station was exciting. It had people everywhere. It had a big staff here on the station, and we had about 150 people working down the loco, and it consisted of fitters and boilermakers and assistant mates, and then it was made up of the Ways and Works branch. They were loading parcels and goods that would come in, and then they used to have the gangers. One gang would go out to Talbot, one gang would be working on the Avoca line, one gang would be working on the Castlemaine line, and one gang would be working on the Mildura-Donald line. So overall, there'll be over 1,000 odd people working there.
The building was built by Swanson Builders from St Kilda in Melbourne, and the architects were the Victorian Railway architects. The building was quite expensive at the time. It cost £22,000, which was a lot of money in those days. The features that make this a Queen Anne a revival building are the flat gables with the curved arches and the polygonal spire with the cupola top, and the red face brick with the plaster strapping on it. It's quite an early use of the terracotta across the top of the ridges on the slate roof. Also the very tall polygonal brick chimneys with the pronounced capping. The other amazing thing about this building is the huge canopy. There's no other ones in Victoria which have this long skylight through the middle, which makes it so much lighter and brighter, and it's a very deep canopy. Without the skylight it'd be very dark under here, and it is wonderful with all its detailing. It's really one of the major features of the whole station.
This main hall was the formal dining room in the late 1800s and early 1900s, and there was silver service in this room. The long room was the refreshment room. There's French doors all along there that opened out onto the platform. A bar ran the full length of that room, and that was more sort of stand-up and fast turnover eating area.
The station is magnificent inside with the beautiful ticket boxes. The flooring was done by Corkwells of Melbourne.
The building itself is unique. I loved the telegraph room. Because in my day, to become a station master, you had to have a telegraph certificate, and it was just the romance of it, I think.
I can remember that, riding my bicycle to work 2 o'clock in the morning, and the station was floodlit, and it looked absolutely magnificent. Beautiful.
It's comparable to some of the other bigger ones in Victoria, such as Ballarat, which is a completely different style, far more Victorian, or Flinders Street Station in the centre of Melbourne, which is 10 years later and 20 years later, and far more Edwardian in style. So I think it's unique and it's beautiful.
One of the first famous visitors was Mark Twain, and he arrived in 1895. But he didn't say that Maryborough was a railway station with a town attached. He said you can put the whole population of Maryborough into it with a sofa apiece and have room for more.
It certainly reflects the wealth of the area and what they perceived that wealth just going on endlessly, that the gold was in the ground, they were just going to keep digging it up.